What's poppin', good people of YouTube? We are here and ready to have a fantastic stream with you. We're going to be doing a mock draft tonight. We got a very exciting announcement to make as well, something that we've been holding in for a little while, and now we finally get to tell you guys about it.
Talk it up.
We're excited to be here with you. What's up, Joel? Let us know who's in the chat hanging out. Joel says, it's always a good day when the chief beat writer writes up a dynasty nasty boy like Jared Wiley. That is definitely a nasty boy. 56 days until kickoff, Daniel Macy says, which, yeah, that's crazy. We are now firmly under 2 months.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man, once you break it down to the season that I break it down, is exciting. And preseason, or not preseason, but training camp starts in what, 2 weeks, which is crazy. That's when things really start to ramp up and we get all these notifications and hype on these rookies. Wow, Jaden Daniels and Luke McCaffrey's connection is phenomenal. And then Luke McCaffrey gets freaking, now he's going undrafted in redraft leagues, but now he's a 10th round pick.
Yeah, sure. Or Adonai Mitchell in preseason has a 60-yard touchdown, and everyone's like, holy shit, this guy's
holy shit. See, I told you so.
What's up, Sunraker? Welcome in. What's up, 369? What's up, Gator? He says, can we get 20 likes in the next couple minutes? That would be great. We do have a like goal today of 50. If we reach 50, we will do 2 mock drafts for you guys. Shribble says, guys, I can't handle any more of the offseason. I need the season like an addict needs crack. Do I need help? No, you're in the right place. Yeah, you're in the right place with the right people. What's up, JSC?
Hi, my name's Zachy, and I'm a fantasy football addict.
Yes. Hi.
Which you guys say loud and proud.
Exactly. All right, let's start off the stream with a little bit of who would you rather, and then we'll get into a big announcement here. But let's just slowly get into a little foreplay, okay? Best ball. Who would you rather, Adonai Mitchell or Jacoby Myers?
Jacoby every single day. Come on, I mean, my guy was like the flex guy for the first half of the season. Genuinely. He was consistent, 12 to 14 fantasy points. At some points he was targeting or outscoring Devontae Adams in some games. And we were like, holy shit, is that Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, that's fair. And I feel like he did have some spike weeks as well. If I remember back to that season, he had a game over 20, 17, 18, 20, 17, 21. So he had like some pretty decent spike weeks as well to his game. So I do think Jacoby Myers is the answer there. Let's get another good one. The community, by the way, everyone has said Jacoby Myers so far. So everyone's on the same page. What's up, Wesley? Welcome in. El Tigre, Stretch's first mock of the season. Love it. What's up, Charlie? Welcome in.
That's awesome.
All right, we're not going to answer Sam Howell, Jamari Thrash. Let's try and get a good one. I don't think that one really matters. Marvin Mims or Keaton Mitchell, who cares? Okay. Wow. I mean, that's a hard-hitting question. CeeDee Lamb or Christian McCaffrey in a best ball league?
Close your eyes. Pick one. I would say this is 1A, 1B. When you see in redraft leagues, if CeeDee Lamb goes at the 101, you're not surprised. If CMC goes at the 101, you're not surprised. 1A, 1B. I think choose your poison. Both of these guys, if I'm not mistaken, averaging over 22, 23 fantasy points this past year.
Yeah. I think you can make an argument that Lamb is actually the safer play, because of Christian McCaffrey's age, because of the amount of work that he's seen, throughout his career. But CMC is obviously CMC, and he's been the RB1, for longer than CeeDee Lamb has been the wide receiver 1 in fantasy. So I actually think, is it crazy that I might start picking CeeDee Lamb number 1 overall? Am I overthinking this? I just feel like he's safer. I feel like he's safer.
1A, 1B.
Yeah.
1A, 1B. Choose your poison, whichever way you want to go. I think both of these guys are going to have similar fantasy output coming in.
This is what the chat has to say. We got 1 CD. El Tigre says Lamb, so that's 2. 369 says agreed. CD has never been hurt, probably is safer, but a lot of people go in CMC. Scribbles 369. JSC says CD less risk compared to the other 2 wide receivers. Scribble says at CMC's best, the gap between him and the RB2 seemed like it could be bigger. Totally agree. I understand where you're coming from there. any top 7 receiver could finish 1. That's fair. So look, I don't think you can make a wrong choice. I guess CMC is probably the right answer, but I really think it should be up in the air. Okay, best ball. Last one, and then we'll get into a mock draft. And if you want to get into the mock draft, just make sure you've joined the Discord before we get to that part of the stream. All right, Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown in a best ball league. Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think at times of the offseason, you and I have seen this differently. I've been very strong towards one side. I don't know where you stand at this moment, so I'm curious from you, Badaki. Where do you stand here?
For me, it's always been Amon-Ra over JJ. I just haven't been able. I think what maybe you're confusing it with is maybe like Justin Jefferson or Puka. Is the conversation we were having, but for me, is Amon-Ra St. Brown, no question. One of the top 5 wide receivers that scored over 20 fantasy points or more. Obviously, Justin Jefferson this past year was injured. But the concerns at quarterback position here with Justin Jefferson is something that I am taking into account. And 2 quarterbacks that haven't really produced fantasy relevant wide receivers at all. So that's going to be an interesting dilemma.
I just think with your first round pick, you really just don't want to mess it up. And Jefferson's probably the best receiver in the game. But just err on the side of caution here. Amon-Ra is going to get 160 plus targets. He's going to be on an incredible offense, the number 1 weapon. I just think we might don't overthink it. Jefferson could be great with Darnold, but Darnold has never supported a fantasy wide receiver in his life. So I know it's a different system, different team. I just think you don't want to mess up your first round pick. And I don't think if you pick Amon-Ra this year, you're going to be like, oh my God, Jefferson gave me 4 more points per game. What did I do? I just don't see that outcome happening. So I also think the answer is Amon-Ra St. Brown. From the chat, we got Charlie saying Amon-Ra, same for Wesley, same for 369, same for JSC. Scribble says flip a coin. Brandon says Amon-Ra the GOAT. Amon-Ra could be the wide receiver 1 this year. JSC says. Charlie says Jettas is the best talent in the league for sure. But I think we're all relatively on the same page. Okay, we are going to do a mock draft. If you want to join this mock draft, it's very simple. All you got to do is join the Discord. And once you're in the Discord, you'll see the Fantasyland with the orange footballs on the left. Okay, that is where, in the announcements tab, that is where we will release any link. So I'll say right here, gang. That's exactly where the link is going to be. Badaki is going to send it. So why don't we go ahead and send that and let people join?
Yeah, I'll send that out now. There goes that link.
And while people are joining the mock draft, you and I have a very exciting announcement to make. We've been holding this in for a while, and we've hinted at it, but we wanted to tell you. Now we can finally tell you guys that a couple big announcements. Number 1, we will be doing a meetup this year. And it will be in Austin, Texas.
The boys are coming stateside. Talk it up, huh? Australia.
We are going on our first ever business trip for Fantasyland football. We never thought we'd do a business trip, but here we are. First ever business trip for Fantasyland football. We will do a huge meetup, but the great news is that meetup will be with every creator on the Flock Fantasy website. Okay, so if you want to meet up with us, fantastic. But maybe you're a fan of the guys over on Domain. Maybe you're a fan of the Stock Exchange guys and obviously Mason. We're going to do one big collective meetup in Austin, Texas, and it will be the week. I don't know the exact date just yet, but the meetup will be the week of August 19th to the 23rd.
Yeah.
August 19th to the 23rd, somewhere in between there, we'll have a meetup. You guys can come meet us. And the other exciting news is that we are all everyone who's a creator on the Flock Fantasy website is going to be in a league together that we're going to live stream. It's going to be awesome. Huge Airbnb that we've got hooked up. We're going to live stream it for you guys all to watch, and we're going to create content kind of similar to like the League TV show. If you ever watched that, I loved that growing up. But over on, we have a new YouTube channel where we're going to post all the content. We're going to talk trash to each other. This is where the live draft will be. Again, the Flock League YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe over there. But essentially, talking trash to each other, The live stream will be there. We'll make content around the league. So, and obviously, you know your boys, Zach and Badai. I mean, we're going to be putting in work trying to win that league as well. High stakes. I'm ready to win it. I'm honestly ready to win it. I'm in everyone's head already.
I'm ready to win it as well. I mean, it's going to be exciting to, first of all, be with all of you guys, whoever's going to be coming out. Second, finally meeting everyone like in person from the creators and having fun and collaborating. You're going to see a lot of collaborative videos from all of the content creators on the site with Zach and myself. And that's going to be, you know, exciting with the Domain Boys, the Stock Exchange, obviously Mason. And we're just going to be pushing out so much content for you guys. So definitely stay tuned. Maybe that week will look a little bit different for content specifically, but we'll be in full swing getting everything out to you and creating the best and fun, entertaining content in that span. So there's going to be more information coming out on the meetup. Currently, I think there might be a limit at the moment, but we will definitely confirm with that with you guys as soon as possible, and we'll definitely make an announcement as well, most likely on the Discord. So stay tuned for anything. Make sure you have your notifications turned on, and for whoever you do follow, especially us on Discord. But we're excited. We are extremely excited. Hopefully you guys can make it. If not, all we ask is that you guys tune into the draft. Which would be great.
The draft is scheduled for August 22nd. So anyway, it's going to be really, really fun, and we're excited. Stay tuned to Discord for announcements. Subscribe over there to the Flock League YouTube page. And man, it's just exciting times. Really, really exciting times. So, but shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Like goal today is 50. If we reach 50, we'll do 2 mock drafts on the stream. Daniel Macy says it's only a 10-hour drive away from him. That's awesome. What's up, Albert? Welcome in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Macy says Zach or Badaki winning that league. That's right. Super cool idea. I agree. If Badaki drafts QJ, he's the taco of the league.
Call me the taco. Call me taco because I'm going to be drafting in the last. I'm down for it.
All right, so let's go ahead and start the mock draft. 1 quarterback, PPR, tight end premium, and let's get this thing going here. 30 seconds on the clock. Again, if we reach 50 likes, we'll do a second mock. As CeeDee Lamb is the first pick, and we just talked about that. CeeDee Lamb or CMC. So either way, the top 2 picks feel really good this year.
Yeah. Pick your poison there. I don't think you go a wrong way. There goes Jamar Chase off the board there. Now Joe's on the clock with easily Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I'm really stuck between Chase and Tyreek Hill right now. Trying to project 1 year to the next. I think we forget that Chase did average 20 points per game last year, the year before last year, 1 year removed. But obviously Tyreek feels like the safer option. But what if he, does age play anything in that? So lots of questions you have to ask yourself there. All right, so Amon-Ra and Jefferson go off the board. And we're going to try an anchor RB strat here. We're going to try Breece Hall, and let's see how we can build out the rest of our team. What's up, Waffle Boy? Welcome in. JSC says, I think Mike Evans, a chance he could have his first ever season under 1,000 yards. That'd be crazy.
Doesn't he have like a streak of like, what is it, like 6 or 7 seasons?
First player ever for like the first 7 seasons with 1,000 receiving yards.
1,000 yards, yeah. I mean, that would be crazy if he doesn't get 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah. Joel says you never want to meet the guy that passed on Tyreek. What's up, WG? Welcome in. 369 says, guys, I have a keeper league that's only keep 2. I have Sun God, Bijan, Smith, Olave, Lamar as potential keepers. Sun God's 100% my first keeper. Who would you suggest as a second? If it's just like you get to choose a player and there's no draft pick attached to it, it'd be pretty easily Bijan Robinson there. For me.
Yeah, I agree. Bijan and Amon-Ra, you keep both of those guys.
All right, so A.J. Brown goes, then Puka Nacua, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Weston at the turn goes Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, Mike, you're right. I think it is 10 years. I think you're right, Mike Evans, 10 years straight, which is bonkers.
Crazy to think about, yeah.
Like, we need to give Mike Evans some more damn respect. We need to put some respect on the guy's name. So Weston starts JT and Garrett Wilson. Aselmo is going to go double hero RB. D. Macy starting a 0 RB strat with Puka and Marvin Harrison. Kyron Williams comes off the board. And
now you're on the clock here. What do you think?
Now I'm on the clock, and I hate this tier of players. I genuinely hate this tier of players with a passion.
Huge passion. Let's see.
Wow. Oh my gosh, dude. All right. I mean, I'm going to go double hero RB then. I'm going to take Derrick Henry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. RB 8 off the board. I took him ahead of ADP. But I think Derrick Henry could. He has a RB1 upside this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, no question. I think
he could see in Baltimore.
I think he's one of the guys that if you take him in the first, I'm not like if you take Derrick Henry over Saquon and Jonathan Taylor, I'm not like upset with that personally. I think you can get him for a better value at the 2.5, but I agree.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
Derrick Henry there.
That's why I hate that spot. I feel like I either want to be at the 110 to the 112 or the 101 to the 102 this year. I think those are my favorite spots. Favorite spots, I think, are going to be the 101 to the 102 or the 110 to the 112. Because the second round, if you're at the 103 to the 109 range, it feels like you're forcing a pick every time.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping for was Nico. Oh, so maybe don't give up.
All right, so Nico does go off the board. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm looking at wide receiver, potential running back. I mean, we kind of just spoke about this guy. I'm going to take Mike Evans here.
Love
1,000 seasons. Just go Mike Evans. Let's see what a Tigre does. Hopefully he can dictate some of my moves. It goes Ayuk.
Joel says, would Nico in the first be a crazy shocker in any league? It would shock me, because that means you're telling me that Nico's going over Garrett Wilson or Puka or AJ Brown. That would shock me, I think.
Yeah. It would shock me as well. I mean, I love Nico, but I don't think I'm taking him in the first.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make my decision easy whatsoever. I'm contemplating between two guys. I don't love either of them in this position. I'm going to go running back here. I'm going to go Joe Moneybags.
What's popping good people? Sorry. Joe Moneybags.
Joe Moneybag mix in there. If I don't take a running back there here, I know somebody is not going to come back to me that I'm in love with. That's the other guy I was contemplating was Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I love Jalen Waddle there. I feel like if you're in a league and there's like 2 or 3 people who force the RBs up the board, I think it can be really beneficial for EU long term. But of course, if you play that out and let's say you force running back and no one else does, that could put you in a bad spot. But Jalen Waddle is my wide receiver 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He goes as a wide receiver 15. I think that's a huge discount on Jalen Waddle personally. Cameron says, yo, trade Goff and Warren for Baker in a first. Already have Burrow and Kyler. Guess this is probably dynasty question.
Trade Goff and Warren for Baker in a 25 first.
Depends on where that first is projected to be. I feel much better about Jared Goff than Baker Mayfield. But if you're telling me that first has a chance to be top 6, I think I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah. Early first for Goff I think is a steal, but I feel like that's most likely going to be a late first.
Yeah. I'll grab Deebo Samuel there at the 308. I don't think there should be as big of a gap between Deebo and Ayuk as there currently is. Last year, a lot of people might not realize, but Deebo actually scored more points per game. Someone mentioned that on our stream recently, and I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, Deebo did score more points per game. None of us are really considering that. As
we just feel more comfortable on a week-to-week basis, though. At times, like I feel like Deebo had more spike weeks, like 40-point weeks. If I could be wrong, I'm just speaking. I can tell you,
as an Ayuk owner, there were weeks where you were disappointed. He has a 7, a 9-point game, a 6-point game, a 5-point game. So he might have been a little bit more consistent, but his boom weeks weren't really all that different from Debo. I mean,
like Debo had 30, 35, 34, 25, and then he missed 2 games. Technically, he missed 3 games because
Ayuk had
week 6 to 8.
8 out of his 16 games, so half of his games were under 15 points, and a lot of those were under 10 points. So from a consistency perspective, I actually don't feel like it was all that different. I actually think you can make an argument that Debo was more consistent. Maybe he just didn't play the season as much.
Yeah.
But just one man's opinion. I'm just saying, I think Debo and Ayuk should be going right beside each other is what I'm saying. As we see neighbors off the board, Pittman, Rachaad White, Devonta Smith, and I hate that Daniel Macy's in this draft because I know he's going to take all the players that I want. He goes Tank Dell. I love me some Tank Dell. But I still have 2 names on the board that I absolutely love. Damn, I thought I was about to get Stephon Diggs in the 4th round.
Stephon Diggs. Well, you got your boy now. Daniel Macy didn't take him.
Daniel Macy didn't take him. He is there. It's not crazy ADP. Remember last time Macy took him in the 3rd. I'm curious to see how far he can fall. I wish he didn't say anything. I wanted to see how far he would fall.
Oh, I didn't say his name. I just said he didn't take him.
People know. People know. Okay, the first quarterback goes off the board in the 4th round. That's Josh Allen at the 406. Not a bad pick there at all. I like that. Macy says, I left him for you. Honestly, though, I was planning on taking a DK Metcalf. He just goes off the board. I was planning on taking DK because I wanted to see how far George Pickens would fall down the board, but that's all right. We have more mocks coming up to try that. JSC says, thoughts on Jonathan Brooks, top 15 RB season incoming? I think by the time he's healthy and actually good to go, I would say on a points per game basis, he could be top 15 in that span. But I don't think like right out of the gates, I expect him to be a top 15 option.
Yeah, I would agree.
McBride, Hurts, and James Cook come off the board. You go Mark Andrews in the 4th round, which I love.
Yeah, I think it's great value for Mark in the 4th here. I mean, I wanted to push it on that edge, but I can't trust El Tigre.
Sure. Charlie says, what are your thoughts on JT? I'm split on him. I kind of am right there with you. My main concern with Jonathan Taylor is it almost feels like the Jalen Hurts situation where if you're in the red zone, you're like, oh, great. Like, here, it's Jonathan Taylor's time. Actually, no, Anthony Richardson rushed him for a touchdown. Oh, wait, Anthony Richardson's in trouble. JT's in the flat. Let's throw it to him for a dump off. Actually, no, Anthony Richardson's going to rush the ball because he's one of the best rushers in the league. So that's really my concerns with JT. It's not anything to do with his talent or anything. It's just
the situation. And
I
just to build on that,
Vulture City from A.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's kind of what I was when I was talking about Derrick Henry. You taking Derrick Henry over Jonathan Taylor or Saquon Barkley? It's because of those concerns, right? Yeah, Derrick Henry could get vultured with Lamar Jackson, but what do we know about the Ravens? That they're a run-first team. They're running. Their identity is going to be through Derrick Henry in this backfield, which we saw last year with Gus the Bus, right? So taking him there is tough. Dalton at the 5'6", is that who you wanted?
I really wanted Dalton at the 5'8". Because Dalton, to me, I think he has tight end 1 upside, and you get him as one of the cheapest of those names.
Yeah.
Oh, I really wanted that. But that's okay. We're back on the clock here. And honestly, not really in love with the wide receivers in this range. This is tough.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really tough spot, to be honest. There's no one that I'm really like obsessed with. And I think that's going to force me to maybe grab like Kyle Pitts here and go tight end. Okay. It's a tight end premium. I wouldn't take Kyle Pitts this early in a non-tight end premium, but
I think these tight ends, all these tight ends are going to be values here, in my opinion. Like, maybe not Sam Laporta, but I think Mark Andrews, Trey McBride, Dalton Kincaid, even Travis Kelce at the 3-9, who was going in the top 7 picks last year.
Yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal value. And I mean, I would even say, oh, you know what? Stay on the point of 3-4 is not terrible value either. Sometimes you see him going early. Sometimes you see him going like in the second round.
It's just hard to be the first person to take a tight end. And at the end of the day, I feel like I know based off ADP that if I take Laporta, there's another guy who has a top 5 ceiling available at least a round later. Like this time, Mark Andrews was there, and Dalton Kincaid another round later. It's just, I don't want to be the first guy to take the quarterback, is what I'm saying. Or tight end.
Yeah, tight end. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
A-Rich, Aaron Jones, Kirk, and Stroud off the board. JSC says, in my opinion, Diggs should be a first rounder. Nico and Dell should go later. Well, we got a video coming out on wide receivers, and Badaki and I disagree a lot on the Houston wide receiver room. So y'all be watching that soon.
Yeah.
Gator says, over 50 people watching. If everyone hits the like button, we'll get to the goal. That's right. We are currently, give you a little update here, at 33 likes, only 17 likes away from 50, which is our goal. And if we reach 50, we will do a second mock draft for you guys on today's live stream. So hit that like button to show some love. As James Conner comes off the board as well. And yeah, it's kind of like the same range of players I'm still not in love with here.
And I think this is why maybe sometimes I'm okay to take onesie positions. Normally, like Mark Andrews, I don't love anyone was in that area.
Yeah,
like he kind of did that at the 5'8". I mean, not saying you're gonna do another onesie position, but just saying like like.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I'll grab Jaden Reed. I wish I knew if Rashee Rice was suspended or not. Rashee Rice would be the easiest pick there if I knew he wasn't.
I don't think we're ever going to know that until season.
JSC says I'm taking Pacheco over Kyron. Debo and Ayuk is just about picking your poison. I agree. It's true. Diggs' fall off was strictly due to Joe Brady. I kind of feel that way as well. The offense changed. What's up, Donald? Welcome in.
How you doing, man?
I like the call, JSC. I like the call. That's how it is in my rankings as well. Oh, yeah, big time. I agree, Rios. Like, if I knew he wasn't suspended, or even if I knew he was suspended like 2 games, I would take him at the 605 all day.
Oh, this is interesting.
I like the build by Joel here. What are you thinking at yours?
Let's see where he goes. That J-Mac might. So he goes running back.
I was going to say, I like the build by Joel. Only thing is, if you have 2 Saints in the first 5 rounds, you automatically have to pay double the buy-in fee in any league. Okay? Just for causing some sort of nonsense like that.
I don't know where Tigger is going to go, man. This is tough.
DeAndre Hopkins off the board ahead of Calvin. So you have him ahead of Calvin in your rankings?
Yes, I do. 100%.
Okay. Lloyd says, what's up? Hope you're feeling better, Badaki.
How you doing, brother? I still have stuffy nose, a little bit of a cough sometimes, but voice is better. Feeling a lot better. Gonna be traveling here soon, so trying to be getting 100%. I guess I'll tell people that I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Zach is gonna be holding it down for both channels, which is definitely keep that in mind. This most likely will be my last live stream on the Redraft channel, my last live stream on the Dynasty channel tomorrow. So definitely make sure you hold it down and show Zach support there. So I'll go DeAndre Hopkins. You're not going to like this pick. I'll take Deontay Johnson.
Stop pushing him up the ADP. That's what I need you to stop doing, though.
There's just no there's no one else I'm taking there.
Just stop pushing him up the ADP. You're killing me, dog.
There's no one else I'm taking there.
That's why I need you guys. I need you to stop taking my favorite players too high. Not you. Everyone. All right, everyone, stop. Stop. Collaborate and listen. Okay, so that is interesting. I have not seen Calvin go behind Hopkins very often. Why do you have Hopkins ahead of Ridley then?
For me, it's the history that he has with Will Levis already. The deep down the field passes that Will Levis loves to throw, and that we saw this past year.
Sure.
You know, in that span with Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins was, when Will Levis was playing the game, DeAndre Hopkins, if I'm not mistaken, was a top 15 wide receiver in that span, and that was, you know, that was a below average Will Levis. You know, with not a full season, what does that look like now? Obviously, Calvin Ridley is going to be eating into that workload, but that also helps for DeAndre Hopkins because there was no one else there on that team last year, right? It was DeAndre Hopkins and no one else. I mean, respectfully to Treylon Burks, and now Calvin comes in. So I just like D Hop and what he can be doing.
Okay, that's fair. All right, I really don't want to not have Raheem Mostert on my teams this year, so I'll take Raheem Mostert at the 7-8. I love Achane. I still can't understand how big of a gap between Achane and Mostert there is. I mean, look, if I could get Achane in like round 4, like around Rashad White,
yeah, like Christian Watson,
that would feel so much better. But at the 305, he typically doesn't go that late. Typically, he's a second round pick. I just find it really difficult to stomach that price. But I'm a big fan of Mostert this year. What's up, Hart? Now, maybe just do a redraft this time. Maybe best ball soon. What's up, Donald? He says, hey, just got done reffing basketball. Game's chilling.
Nice.
Y'all on the big screen TV.
Hey, that's awesome, man. What's for dinner? I'm assuming got a big screen TV, got some dinner going, maybe cooking in the background.
Did you give anyone some text tonight? Just, you're out of here.
Get him out. Have you seen that guy on TikTok that, like, he's like, I don't know. I mean, he kind of looks like Hispanic, kind of white, and like it kind of looks like he's in the hood, and like he's giving like texts and like really reffing some of these kids. Yeah, it's funny. Like I need to find it. He's like, hey, don't be doing that. Hey, don't be doing that over here. Not on my court. It's like it's hella funny. Oh man.
JSC says, would you be shocked if Neighbors the top 10 guy? No, I wouldn't be shocked personally. I think he's going to get 150 targets. That sounds insane.
From Hard Knocks,
I really think he's going to get 150 targets.
And this was so dangerous about Hard Knocks is that the clips from Hard Knocks is like you hear Brian Dable is like, holy shit, like that guy's good as fuck. You know,
and that's the thing. Like I hate that Neighbors is on Hard Knocks because that's one of my favorite players this year. Damn it, SLMO. I wanted JS in.
It's like, oh, that guy's good. You know, I love Neighbors. And like the first question he asked is, how do you feel about not being worked in the offense immediately? My instant thought went to Stephon Diggs. He's like, I would be pissed. And then I was like, okay, Brian Dable, when Stephon Diggs was upset, and he immediately went to Brian Dable, and what did Brian Dable do? Give him the ball.
Yeah,
which is going to be the exact same thing, or I'm picturing with Malik Neighbors. So
yeah, I get it.
Just with a shittier quarterback play.
By the way, we have young people watching, so sorry. Family-friendly stream.
Family-friendly stream, fact, you know.
Lloyd said, my daughter says, hi, can we give her a shout-out? Her name is Adeline.
Hi.
I hope I'm saying Adeline, right? Let me know if I'm saying that right. But big shout-out to Adeline. Adeline makes more sense, maybe. So big shout-out to Adeline. Thanks for watching. And give your dad a hug, okay?
Adeline.
Give your dad a hug.
Yeah, give your dad a hug.
Donald says, my wife made Puerto Rican food for dinner.
Oh, come on.
You know all about that.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, you know all about them cultures. You're a cultured man.
I'm not joking. That's awesome.
I love it, Donald. Saints to the moon. Gator says, got Pizza Hut, including boneless buffalo wings. Sheesh.
Ooh. Come on, baby.
Kaz says, we all know we can't chase touchdowns from the previous season. It's very unlikely to repeat. Oh, I guess you're talking about Mostert? Yeah. I guess I would understand that narrative if like he was going where Achane was going. Like if Raheem Mostert was going round 2 or 3, absolutely. I'm not going to draft that guy there. But he's going so far down the board. I guess I just don't understand the risk of passing on Achane and getting Mostert later. I mean, what does that make him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That makes him RB 24. I just don't see the risk, I guess. Macy says Adeline, future fantasy football champ. You'd love to see it.
Come on. All right, David Njoku off the board here. Man, this is interesting. I was stretching Jonathan Brooks there. I was really hoping that he was going to come back to me. That's what I wanted as my RB3.
Yeah, I wanted Jonathan Brooks too. I decided to pick Worthy because I didn't have enough wide receivers, but I kind of regret it.
I'm going to take Trey here.
Yeah, I like the pick. Jason feels like such a value. I agree. I in hindsight, I really wish I prioritized Jason at the 708 and then at the 805 took Brooks, but I didn't think Brooks would still be there. But that's why we mock.
That's why we mock, man.
But I love JSN. I'm really coming around on Chris Godwin as well. Brian Robinson, I like the pick. Where do you stand on Sutton? I feel like I'm not even standing. I'm just sitting. I'm like, all right.
It's more like who? Sutton who?
I just don't really have any interest in the wide receivers in Denver.
Outside of Troy.
To be honest, yeah, outside of Troy Franklin, I like him as like a, late pick. But I just don't really have like a strong opinion either way. Okay, I was about to take Brock Bowers. It's like, I don't want to take 2 tight ends, but if he's going to fall this far. So he goes off the board. I got 2 guys who haven't taken a quarterback yet, so I should think about that. I still got Joe Burrow here. I still got so many options I love, though. That's what's tough.
Yeah, that was me. I saw Joe Burrow, and I was like, I'll come back to you, brother. If you come back, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll take Gus the Bus there then.
And I'm glad I went running back because I would have been pissed if Singletary, Warren, like, look at this run of running backs. I'm so happy I went running back here.
Yeah. I love the Jaden Daniels pick. Maybe in a real league, I'd probably go Daniels there just because I love him. But there's just so many good options.
Yeah, I agree.
JSC, you're speaking my language, man. Zach Moss is one of my favorite picks in fantasy drafts this year, so you and I are on the same page, my man. We are on the same page.
Freezing up in this mug.
Do you guys feel like there's disrespect with Tyler Lockett's ADP? I feel like he had one off season. The difficult part with Lockett is really the difficult part with any aging receiver is once you're in the 30s and you have a down season, I can't think of a single time in history where that's turned around. Let me know. Like, genuinely, I'm curious what examples there are. A wide receiver over the age of 30 has a down year in production, and then the year after that just has a huge bounce back over the age of 30. I just can't think of a time that's really happened. Like, no one comes to mind off the top of my head. And I guess that's what's difficult.
That's a good pick, Jerome Ford. I was hoping that he might come back to me at the 10-11 there. Look, I don't think Tyler Lockett is being disrespected with ADP. Sorry. Go ahead. You make your pick and I'll finish.
No, it's just I was looking at my options here, and to be honest, I actually think I will draft TJ Hawkinson here. I think I'll just put him on my IR. At this point of the offseason, I'll put him on my IR. He won't impact my roster. At the end of the draft, I'll still be able to go to the waiver wire and pick up a name that I like as a sleeper. And when he comes back, I'll have a trade target there in a tight end premium format. If it's not tight end premium, I'm probably not making this pick. But in a tight end premium format, I think, I got some people who might be interested.
That makes sense there. That makes sense. With Tyler Lockett, fan, I don't think his ADP is being disrespected with Tyler Lockett's ADP. I mean, like, where was he really going in other drafts last year? Like, he was still.
I think it is.
Do you think so? I don't think it's that big
so,
of a disrespect, because what was he going last year? Like, he wasn't a top 7 pick.
Wasn't top 7, no, but he was more around like what he typically was around like
top 7 rounds. So
I think he was, dude.
You understand? He was a 7th round pick last year. If I remember correctly, he was below 7th round, but I could be wrong. That's how I'm remembering it. Because I remember Tyler Lockett still being disrespected, and he was still going like 8, 9.
He was a wide receiver 27 last year. And he was 68th overall.
Just inside the 6th round.
Yeah. So he was going a lot higher, but.
And he went to 10-9 here.
Keenan Allen last year, I just never saw, like, I guess I don't feel like Keenan Allen ever fell off, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, from a points per game perspective, I just don't think we had, like, a Tyler Lockett type of fall off for Keenan. But I could be misremembering. That is very possible.
Big Dak Prescott here.
Randy Moss came back. Yep. Went to Tom Brady. So Keenan, yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, he averaged over 21 points per game last year. But I feel like he was still, like, consistently good before that. You know? What was Lockett's points per game last year? I feel like it was pretty low. But I mean, I could be overthinking it. Maybe Lockett is a great pick. Last year, 11.9 points per game. So, top 17 for the last 4 years. Then goes to wide receiver 37 on points per game basis. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it, to be honest. I don't really like the double quarterback strategy, personally. I just not a huge fan of going double quarterback. But at this point, I know I got a Selimo who doesn't have a quarterback, and the options are getting thin. So I do think I should take one here. And I'm going to grab Brock Purdy. I got that Purdy Debo stack right there, which I'm happy with.
Yep.
But talk to us. Are you ever doing the double quarterback pick in a one quarterback format?
And one quarterback format is really difficult to envision. I would say this. I can see why people do it. If you went one quarterback last year, if you went 2 quarterback last year, like some people do take a second quarterback with their last pick, you were probably buzzing if you had the likes of Anthony Richardson.
Sure.
Trevor Lawrence, these guys that went.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, like players that got injured, quarterbacks that got injured, you were buzzing that you had your second quarterback, because the players that didn't have their second quarterback, you went straight to the waiver wires and picked up Derek Carr. You went straight to the waiver wires and picked up Daniel Jones, who got injured. You know, like you probably got lucky because Baker Mayfield was on waiver wires. You know, you probably got lucky when you thought you were lucky when. Well, Geno Smith was getting drafted last year, but you get what I'm saying. Like some of these quarterbacks were available, and it just wasn't panning out for you. So, he said I picked up C.J. Stroud. Like C.J. Stroud wasn't getting drafted, in some leagues. I can see why, but I think it's too high here. It's just way too high.
I thought Wicks would be available for my next pick. Hey, are we thinking at all about return yards? Like now that important players will be used in the return game. I
don't think you kind of mentioned it because I mentioned it earlier. I was like, I think that could be really special for fantasy. I don't think it's something that we can really flesh out until we see how effective it is in the NFL that you mentioned. Because I was like, that could be awesome for fantasy. Because if someone like Zay Flowers goes in the backfield, if someone like, for example, Kadarius Toney goes in the backfield. Right, like that's fun. That's exciting.
Kick return. So here's what I think could be really cool is if this actually ends up being like an important part of football, which it feels like it is. Apparently, the XFL used this format, and it resulted in like 90% of kicks being returned, which is way different than what we saw last year. So if it ends up being super important, I wonder if we can create a new position in fantasy, and it's kick returner, and you draft a kick returner. And imagine there's like a Devin Hester that comes out. It's like, oh, you got a onesie position now. You got your quarterbacks, your tight ends, and your kick return. Where you taking Devin Hester, you know? So, like, I think that could be really fun for fantasy if it turns into.
I think so as well. And then that's when I first heard of the new kick return rules. That was the first thing I thought of. I thought of how can we utilize this in fantasy, because that's a whole nother layer. That's a whole nother element. Yeah. And we can find it. What's interesting is that. What's interesting is that
the only man on this planet who is upset about a Quentin Johnson.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed I didn't take him. Pissed. It's okay. I'll go with my next best guy available here, Michael Wilson.
It's tough when you miss out on the wide receiver 4 of a pass.
The wide receiver 1 for Quentin Johnson. Call me Taco. I take all the tacos in the world with Quentin Johnson, man. I'm gonna get Quentin Johnson on a live stream. Look at all the disrespect, brother. What can you do to make up for this, huh? Yeah. And I'm gonna show him his clips. I'll show him his clips of the drop passes. Be better. But I'm still drafting you.
Mitch says, "Can y'all do a super flex mock draft?" Absolutely. We just have to meet that like goal of 50, and I think we're only 3 likes away from 50 likes anyway. So. If you're watching and you haven't hit the like button, help us get to 50 and we'll pop off a second mock and we can make it super flex for sure. As Ricky Pearsall, Jaleel McLaughlin, who could actually be a sneaky, really good pick. Darnell Mooney also comes off the board. Oh man, there's a couple names that I still really like. But yeah, fun times. What's Rioza gonna do here? He went Chase Brown. I love the Jermaine Burton pick, by the way. Huge fan of that pick right there. Man, I'm a big Burton guy this year. Austin is right before me. What's he thinking? I have a couple options in mind. I love the Pop Douglas pick. Real big fan of that. You know, if it's good enough for CeeDee Lamb, it might be good enough for me. Welcome home, Wan'Dale Robinson.
Shut up.
Welcome home.
This needs to be named. This live stream needs to be named Zach Drafted Wan'Dale Robinson live stream, please.
Are we gonna do a W in the last name? Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wan'Dale Robinson. What an opportunity here for Wan'Dale Robinson coming off the board here for Zach.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind the pick. I mean, you brought him as a stash in a video recently. I didn't disagree. I thought, actually, it's a pretty decent stash. If he can just stay healthy. If the kid can stay healthy.
He's going to stay healthy. I guarantee it. No, I can't guarantee that. I really hope he can stay healthy. I mean, sheesh, man.
By the way,
let me just say this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I love the Chuba Hubbard pick. I love the Chuba Hubbard pick because there's a chance Jonathan Brooks isn't the starter to begin the year. And you could have some serious value there with Chuba. If you're going 0 RB, I think he's someone you should target in the 13th round. What were you going to say, though?
No, I was just going to say something that's not smart.
Okay. I was going to say something inappropriate.
I was just going to say a dark horse wide receiver 1 room is the New York Giants, but we all know that's not happening.
If you mean just dark horses and like you're
the wide receiver group
locked in a cage in the shadows, then yeah.
Locked in the cage in the shadows.
Yeah, maybe then I think I could.
Come on, Giants. On board. Change the atmosphere.
Adam Thielen, I really like the Thielen pick. In fact, that was kind of where I was leaning towards going here, but I'm gonna have to switch it up now. And I'm really in the weeds here. And you know what? I think in this scenario, I went quarterback so late. Let's grab a Jared Goff as well, just as like an insurance policy. Just simply if Brock Purdy doesn't have the touchdown percentage, isn't as efficient as he was last year, I got Jared Goff in a great offense as well as an option. But my starting lineup is going to be looking like Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, Debo, Pickens, Pitts, Reed, Worthy. I'll probably flex Gus over Worthy though. So not bad. Not bad. Good size.
Not bad. Good size. Oh, this is I got a sleeper coming up right here. Come on, J-Man. Come on. Get my sleeper. The true wide receiver one on an offense.
Okay, so it's definitely not a wide receiver one in an offense.
Probably not the number one target, but the potential wide receiver one in the room. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Bateman. Okay. I didn't know we were telling jokes today. I sent you a link to this next mock draft. Actually, do you want to talk about the Bateman pick?
What? Well, it is a joke, but I do like Rashad Bateman as a flyer as the last pick. I mean, if he can stay healthy and string on a couple games, there's excitement here. He hasn't had a full season staying healthy. And to be fair, if you look at the reports, he was playing with an injury last year. He actually didn't even know if he was going to play in 2023. That's how serious that injury was. Played through injury. And obviously did nothing with those opportunities because of how limited he was on the field. But now OBJ's gone. Mark Andrews is here. Can Rashad Bateman string up a couple games like we've seen? Not comparing it to Evan Ingram, but remember how Evan Ingram was always injured? Or remember how maybe Evan Ingram was not the best one, but you get what I'm saying with Rashad Bateman, how exciting that could potentially be.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we did reach our like goal. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate that big time. Thank you for all the love on the stream so far. And we will do a second mock. We'll make this a super flex mock. And I'll mock at the 4 spot, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll mock at the 3 spot.
Yeah, let's go next to each other.
And Badaki, you have that link. So
I'll send that link.
That
out. Join our Discord. You guys know how to go. Fantasyland tab. Go to announcements. First come, first serve. 3, 2, 1. That link is out now.
And that is going to fill up, obviously. But get in now. Get in while the getting is good.
Get in while the getting is good.
You know, we in redraft leagues, we're about half. Half are one quarterback, half are super flex. We enjoy both, honestly. Both are exciting formats, so I don't see a reason not to play both as well if you guys are interested. But Superflex, PPR, tight end premium, and I just need to make sure that this is not Dynasty ADP, so I don't mess it up like last time. And it is not. And we are good to go. Let's go ahead and start this thing in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds on the clock. And Pat Mahomes goes at the number 1 pick. I like the 3rd overall pick a lot. I really do because, well, if Mahomes goes number 1, I really like it because I feel like I got 2 options I'm obsessed with. I wonder what Weston's going to do here. My quarterback 1 in redraft leagues. Is he going to be available to me? He's not, but I will still take Josh Allen, my quarterback 2. Starting a Superflex league with Josh Allen at 103, yeah, I'll take that every day. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'll take CJ Stroud here at the 104 then. I ain't worried about it, y'all. I ain't worried about it. Christian McCaffrey at the 105. Let's see how that quarterback room is going to pan out for you there, brother. Very interesting to see how that goes. CeeDee Lamb off the board at the 107 for El Tigre. Oh, boy. Gators fans said DeAndre Hopkins only scored score 20 more fantasy points than Tyler Lockett did last year, and he's going 4 rounds earlier. That's fair. I think there's a lot of context behind that as well. I think, there's just, I think for me, the way I think about it is, Geno Smith had really high expectations last year, so maybe that pushed up Tyler Lockett's ADP. DeAndre Hopkins, no one was really expecting him to have a good year, even with Ryan Tannehill and or Will Levis, and he didn't even have a good year. So the fact that we have this new offensive coordinator was going to be exciting. The same thing with Tyler Lockett, but now we are more projecting that for JSN. So we'll see. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Anthony Richardson, and then Jamar Chase at the 111, which is incredible for a Selimo in a Superflex league, I believe.
Yeah. So is Stroud your 4th quarterback in redraft leagues?
No, but I definitely wanted to switch it up. I had technically have Lamar. Okay. But I wanted to see how that went.
Okay.
Is CJ Stroud number 4 for you?
No, he's not. He is, I think, 5th. But I still don't love him at his ADP in 1 quarterback leagues. But yeah, so Lamar 4, CJ 5.
Yeah.
I won't go through the rest, but in 1 quarterback league specifically, in Superflex this makes sense. But in 1 quarterback, I'm just not a huge fan of his ADP right now.
No, yeah, 100%. I always go Lamar Jackson ahead of CJ Stroud in the 1 quarterback and in Superflex. But just switching it up here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Sheesh. Make this a dynasty league for the guy.
All right, let's see what Mexi Madden's going to do here. He starts with a Rich.
What I need everyone to do in the chat, if you're from Austin, Texas, or live in Texas, or know anything about Texas barbecue, I want to know the best chain that I can go to, or maybe mom and pop shop that I can go to in Austin, Texas. I'm trying to feast. I want some Texas barbecue. You watch the Barbecue Showdown on Netflix? Oh boy.
I definitely love barbecue as well, so I want to know the
I've actually never had Texas barbecue ever. I've never been to Texas before.
Look, I'm from Kansas City, so I am a little biased. I think our barbecue is superior, but I still think Texas barbecue is incredible.
What's the difference?
I don't even know. I think the difference is Texas barbecue feels a little bit drier to me. If that's what I'll say. It just feels like a little bit of a drier type of barbecue. Kyler Murray at the 204, I think, is the steal of the draft so far. To me, in a Superflex league, I'm taking Kyler in the 1st round. That is my quarterback 6, and I'm not convinced that Stroud outscores him, for example. I'm not picking on Stroud. It's just that's been always the guy I talk about when I compare him to Kyler.
You're picking on me right now. You're making fun of me.
Nope, absolutely not. Get thicker skin.
You're making fun of me.
But I love the Kyler Murray pick. Huge fan of that deal. So T Gray got the stack, the Dak Lamb stack. I like that too. That's nice. That's crispy. As Brock Purdy off the board. Damn, I wonder what you're gonna do here.
Yeah, this is tough, man. There's 2 people I can go for. I don't know what to do here. There's too many things to decide from. I feel like
gotta make a call.
I'm actually gonna go running back here. I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs.
Damn it! Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
There's just too many good positional players here to pass on them.
Yeah, way too many right there. That you can definitely risk it a little bit.
Lloyd says Salt Lick Barbecue. Salt Lick Barbecue.
Salt Lick Barbecue.
Yeah, tell us the best barbecue in Texas. Oh, that looks incredible. I'm not gonna lie to you, that looks wildly impressive.
Driftwood Hour. Indoor dining rooms are open.
Bro, I love baked beans. Oh, my God. Yeah, hell yeah. Damn it, Joel. Oh. I wanted Jaden Daniels in the third. Oh, you're killing me, dog.
I'm just keen for barbecue. I'm keen for some mac and cheese. I'm keen for some pulled pork. I mean, I'm keen for some ribs, like Zach said, some beans. Give me some mashed potatoes. Ooh.
We'll have the Saquon pick.
Hell yeah, I'm about to eat good, kid. Fuck.
I really wanted Daniels. ADP, he shouldn't have gone off the board according to ADP, but whatever. It is what it is. Scribble says Jalen Hurts and Puka is the exact reason why I believe in third round reversals in Superflex leagues. Yeah. But to be honest, he still would have got Jalen Hurts and Puka if it was a third round reversal. But I get what you mean. He wouldn't have gotten Saquon for sure.
I have to go QB. It's not going to come back to me. And I get a little stack there with Gibbs and Golf. Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is a Selmo's worst nightmare. What's happening right now?
That's why I was going to risk it. I was like, there's no way somebody's coming back to me with all the one quarterback teams right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
This LMO is clinching right now. Praying for you, man. Some Salt Lick barbecue. Woo!
Hell
yeah.
That looks fire, dude.
That actually got me so hyped. Like, genuinely. Like, oh my goodness.
Barbecue is like my favorite. That's probably my favorite meal.
I love barbecue. I've just never had Texas barbecue.
Right.
Like, ever. So
have you Kohl's started selling this like brisket, this like pre-made brisket. It's actually pretty fire.
Really?
You should buy it. Yeah.
Kohl's. I'm literally gonna go Kohl's right now, and then type in brisket.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's like a slow cooked beef brisket. They got a pork version too. I'll send it to you. This is one of my favorite meals, like weekly. Pretty fire. Okay, so Trevor Lawrence off the board as well. JT, Drake London.
I mean, Drake London is great there. I thought about taking Drake at the 3-4. It's 3-4 instead of Jared Goff and risking it. I'm glad I didn't do that because I would have just been in shambles the way the quarterback room's going.
Yeah, Scribble says quarterback 17 for Trevor Lawrence. That is pretty crazy.
So 17, 16, 14, 13 for Golf, 12 for Herbert.
Selbo's going to keep kicking quarterbacks down the road here.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. The fact that I get to eat American food twice in 2 different months in the span of 1 year is actually, I'm grateful.
Wow.
Doesn't happen every year.
Amen.
You know?
Amen. Grateful, man. Blessed. Hashtag blessed. As Kirk Thuggins comes off the board. Hey, Kirk Thuggins could be a huge value in Superflex drafts. Like, I'm not convinced that Justin Herbert outscores Kirk Cousins. I mean, that's where I would put my money, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. Like, if Kirk Cousins comes out, scores more than any quarterback that went in round 3, that would not surprise me at all. Especially with what he looked like in Minnesota. But obviously, we don't know what his Achilles is going to look like. So
Sure.
I like the pick. I like it. 369. 369. Give me a shot.
Tell me one more time.
Get low. Get low. To the window. To the wall.
Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I like the Laporta pick there.
Is this 30-second pitch? This feels like forever, I'll be honest with you.
It actually does feel like forever, but it is 30 seconds. What's up, Mitch? He says, Christian Watson or Malik Neighbors. I think I can speak for both of us. We're very strong on the Malik Neighbors side of that.
Yeah, man. Every single day.
I just think Malik Neighbors, quarterback play is going to be questionable, but he's going to be, I think he gets 150 targets as a rookie. I really do.
I'll probably cry until we see a top 10 wide receiver coming out for the Giants. I'll cry. Cry that day.
Mike Grateful. Evans off the board. By the way, if you haven't heard at the beginning of the stream, we are going to be in a league with all of the Flock Fantasy creators. Every single one of us is going to be in a league together. We're going to live stream it on this channel. I'll send a link in the chat. It'll be a live stream. We'll make content. It'll kind of be like the League FX, if you remember back in the days. Just talking trash to each other. Jalen Waddle's such a good pick there. Oh my goodness, I'm jealous.
Monte Adams. No, I'm on the clock here. Oh, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way you don't take Nico here.
That's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I think we're going to grab Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
So weird how close they go in Superflex, and in one quarterback it's so different.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But of course that's because I chose him there, but is it weird to say that it's hard to take Hill in the first because you have the option to take Waddle in the third? There are some wide receivers where I definitely feel that way. I won't say because some of them haven't been drafted, but Tyreek is one that I just feel you're not getting the same thing with Waddle. Yeah, I'm not hesitant to draft Tyreek. I just don't think Waddle's giving you that same outcome. As Neighbors and Dell come off the board, a lot of good options I still like here. Devon Achane, maybe becomes a value there. I am going to grab Deebo Samuel, though. So how does Deebo Samuel go at the 5.3 when Ayuk's at the 5.42? I hope that ADP stays the same this entire offseason. I hope that doesn't change.
Yeah, I get that. I'll take Cooper Kupp here.
Yeah, I like the Cooper Kupp pick. That's one of the names, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. That's one of the names where I don't feel comfortable taking Puka as high as he's going because I know I can get Kupp later. This is not like a hate on Weston at all, but just knowing that Puka costs a 211 and knowing you could have got him at the 5.2, to me, it just makes it more difficult to really select him. Yeah, I got Diggs over Cooper Kupp. Is that a hot take? Diggs over Cooper Kupp?
I mean,
is that a hot take?
I don't think it is a hot take. I would say that I think the majority of the league would have. Well, let me rephrase this. I would say it's leaning more towards the hot take for the rest of the community. In our eyes, I don't think that is true. I think Cooper Kupp is higher than Stephon Diggs normally, but I could be mistaken.
So you guys think Cooper Kupp should go ahead of Diggs? That's like consensus? Because that's not how I see it, but I'm curious to see what everyone thinks on that.
Let me see what's happening on Underdog right now.
Let me ask a poll.
Because the way I'm thinking about this is that I know the majority of the community on Underdog will probably be taking Cooper Kupp over Stephon Diggs, but maybe I'm thinking
really
about the
okay. Okay.
I'm thinking about the rankings wrong. That's why I'm pulling it up. Let's see.
I just put a poll in the chat. I'm very curious to see what people think.
Cooper Kupp is one spot higher than Stephon Diggs. Cooper Kupp on Underdog is wide receiver 22. Stephon Diggs wide receiver 23.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I would have Diggs ahead of Kupp myself, but
I personally would have Kupp over Diggs.
I have him in the same tier, but I have Diggs over Kupp, and if I know if that's true, I'll probably take advantage of that ADP then. in future drafts. But 8 people voted, and it looks like the majority of people are with you. They have Cup over Diggs. That's interesting. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, okay. I have them in the same tier, but
I would say this that's why it's so difficult, and you'll see this in the video that we recorded when we talk about Stephon Diggs. But I mean, there's no new competition for Cooper Kupp outside of Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp is still going to have a decent role. We haven't seen Stephon Diggs in this offense, even with CJ Stroud or even with Tank Dell or Nico Collins. So I think there's more. If in the overall, like when it comes down to situation, Cooper Kupp's situation feels better. Now, when you talk about what Stephon Diggs has done in his span of his career versus Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs feels safer, right? So I think I can see both arguments from the community.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand why people are assuming Diggs is going to be the third target in that offense. Mitch mentioned it. I know a lot of people have that opinion. I guess I just don't agree. I think if you think about Tank Dell and Nico Collins, how are those guys going to be used? Most likely down the field. But I feel like if you're looking at these 3 names, Dell, Diggs, and Collins, Diggs to me is a guy that you target more often. Maybe per target, he's not doing as much as those other guys are, but in the screen game, in the slant game, simple over the middle of the field type of stuff, that to me feels like where you target Stephon Diggs. So I guess I definitely hear where people are coming from, but I guess I see a different role for those players than the rest of the community. Man, not really loving the running backs here. Alvin Kamara would have been my pick for sure. I haven't taken Zay Flowers much. I'll grab Zay Flowers here as my 4th wide receiver. New situation, new team for sure. I think Puka and Kupp both had 30% target share last year when both on the field. I don't think that's true.
You can check
that. Yeah. Let me find out. I don't know if that's accurate though. Let me know where you found the link to that. But Cooper Kupp, by the way, I love Cooper Kupp. I'm not anti-Cooper Kupp at all.
But do you get what like people are saying about like Cooper Kupp though? Like, do you see how Cooper Kupp potentially feels safer in his workload and production versus what Stephon Diggs is going into?
If you have Cooper Kupp ahead of Diggs, then you're assuming that Diggs is not the number 1 option in Houston. I think he has every opportunity to be the number 1 option in Houston. And I guess that's where I see differently to the rest of the community. I'm on the clock here. Man, I still hate these running backs. Jeez Louise, I gotta make a pick. We'll grab Evan Ingram here. He's kind of like the last guy in a tier I really need.
Yeah, that's kind of who I want.
I guess if you're Diggs over Kupp, or Kupp over Diggs rather, you probably don't think Diggs has a chance to be the number 1 wide receiver in Houston. I do. I definitely do think. I don't think they bring him in if they don't feel like he can be that for their team. And obviously, CJ has chemistry with the other 2 names. Those other 2 names have a great chance of being the number 1 wide receiver in Houston as well. But Diggs has a long career of being heavily targeted, being the number 1 option on an offense. Even when he shared a wide receiver room with Adam Thielen, there's years where he had over 130 targets himself. So I guess I get where people are coming from. I think what you guys aren't thinking about enough is Cooper Kupp hasn't been healthy for 2 years in a row. How much does that weigh into your decision here? Diggs hasn't really dealt with any injuries to be concerned about at all. So is that something that you weigh up at all? Does that matter to you? Aging wide receiver 2 years in a row where dealing with injury history. That's one of the reasons people are concerned about Keenan Allen. But
I think they're both pretty. I'm not gonna say they're both pretty even, but I think both of those things are weighed up tremendously. Like I feel like the same way you're saying about the weight of Cooper Kupp's injury is the same. I feel like the same weight in my eyes is that Stephon Diggs with Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Like that, I feel like that puts a lot of weight on Stephon Diggs' situation. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah. Like I get what you're saying. Like I get what you're saying. If Cooper Kupp is injured and he misses 6 to 7 games, it's like, yeah, you would want Stephon Diggs. No question about it, because he doesn't have that injury history. But what is Stephon Diggs really going to be returning with our projections still?
Again, like I've been saying, it all comes down to how you project this offense. I think Diggs, as much as the other two, has just as much chance to be the number one weapon. And when I think about how this offense will function, Dell and Nico are incredible players, great per target. But I think those are the guys that you target down the field. I think Diggs is the guy that you target over the middle of the field, easy, quick passes, slants. And I think in a PPR format, that's going to be a very safe player.
I think like bigger picture, and I guess I can close with this, or you can close with what you're going to say. Like for me, if Cooper Kupp puts a full, like, are you drafting Cooper Kupp if it is guaranteed a full season? Because he's still, like, he can be the number one option there as well. Like, there was no question coming into this year that Cooper Kupp was going to be the number one option without Puka Nacua until he got injured, right? But then he comes back, and then you still see that Cooper Kupp is still fantasy relevant, which gives you the security of what that looks like.
So projections assume health. So no, it wouldn't change anything for me. I don't make my projections assuming someone's going to get injured. You know, that's why there's always room for, you know, error with a projection, because you never, like, okay, I'm going to give Malik Nabers 25% of the target share this year in New York. But if he's injured, he misses 5 games, he's probably not going to hit 25% of the team's total target share, maybe when he's on the field. But yeah, any time I do projections, it assumes health.
Okay. Jake Ferguson at the 7-8. That's somebody I was hoping to come back to me at the 8-9. I didn't think he was going to go there at the 7-8.
Yeah. I feel you. Aaron Jones, man. That's kind of bonkers to me. The 8-5.
Well, he went at the 5?
Like, I feel much better about Aaron Jones than James Conner, for example.
Right. Ooh.
Raheem Mostert, that was definitely someone I was targeting. Montgomery off the board. D-Hop, and sweet. I'll grab Zamir White here. One of my favorite 0 RB targets in drafts.
Almost
369. But yeah, look, I like I said, I have Kupp and Diggs in the same tier. I guess I don't mind which way you guys lean.
Yeah.
Do y'all still believe in Kindre? Heard Nate Underhill say it could be Jamal as a backup. Look, if those reports come out and they really start to surface during preseason, and, you know, we'll have to change expectations. But at the moment, I do project Kindre to have a much larger role this year.
Yeah. Najee Harris there. Pretty sure I'm about to take somebody that I think I know. So either way, I might be happy with what's going to happen here. Let's see. Okay, so he takes Jonathan Brooks. I thought you might go Jackson Smith and Jigba, but obviously looking at your team, you might have to build off these running backs the way it's going. So I'll take Jackson Smith and Jigba here.
Yeah, I like the pick. I like the pick for sure.
I'm loving this build. Come on. Another $10 quickie. Lock it in.
Oh my goodness.
Anselmo would kill himself if he got another $10 quickie. Or for this league.
Yeah. What's your my team has Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, CMC, Mostert, Evans, Neighbors, Ingram, Waddle, Pickens, Warren. We got Russell Wilson as well. We got Tyler Lockett, Dontavion Wicks, so it's over. What is your league? What does your team look like?
I got Kyler Murray, Breece Hall, Dave Montgomery, Drake London, Nico Collins, Trey McBride, Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, Shakira, Kirk Cousins. I got Devin Singletary, Rico on the bench. I got Quentin on the bench. And I also have Daniel Jones there as well because it is a super flex league. So
Gator says I like Connor and the fact that I took Henry and JT as my first 2 running backs. I can respect that. Don't know about this draft so far. I usually never wait till round 7 for my second wide receiver, but hey, this is what mocks are about. So that would be round 7 for your second wide receiver.
Lab McConkey. Yeah, he got Lab McConkey, Deontay Johnson there.
Caitlin. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either. I'm not sure yet. I really don't know how to feel about that either. Mitch says, do you like the stack RB strategy, like grabbing Gus and JK? Overall, I'm not a huge fan of it, just because I think in a way you do limit your upside. Okay, so for example, if you take if you have 4 running backs as handcuffs on your team and they're all from the same team, 25% is the best you could hit there. But if you take a backup from 3 different teams, or a young guy that could develop a role, or like a Blake Corum or a Kendra, from all these different teams, I just think your upside is you unlock a ceiling that you don't have when you stack the same exact room. But I don't mind if you want to cover off a running back, but
yeah, I think so as well. I think that was a really big thing in the past couple of years with Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. And if you didn't handcuff Alexander Madison, you were mad at yourself, or that player or that owner was always trying to sell Alexander Madison to you. So it just depends. You cover yourself in other ways, right?
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Okay, so damn it. I wanted Zach Moss. I have him over Jonathan Brooks. I just thought he might fall. So Zach Moss is off the board. Gus Edwards off the board. Love both of those names.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's another name I'm really shocked is not gone, but I the more we mock, there it is, Brock Bowers. The more we mock, the more I think I'm going to have a lot of Brock Bowers in redraft. In tight end premium formats. I just don't understand how he falls so far beyond the Ferguson range. The Ferguson, Kittle, Ingram range, I think Bowers should be right there.
Yeah,
Njoku off the board.
That's why I stretched it a little bit. I was going to take Njoku because I thought you might take Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I was easy going to take Njoku at the 9-4. Stretched it a little bit, but that's okay. I still have some good tight ends that can come to me on the turn around here.
By the way, this is not what Kamani Vidal owners want to hear, but reports came out that, and we talked about this, Gus Edwards is a clear lead back. The secondary touches are open for a competition, but if Dobbins is healthy, it's his job. Is currently what we're hearing.
If Dobbins,
yeah.
If the IF is probably the biggest word in that sentence.
Yeah. I really wanted Geno this round, so I'm kind of upset about that. But
Zach is not loving this draft.
Actually, I like it. I really like this draft. I know people don't like the Diggs pick, but that's okay. I'm a big fan of this team so far. Okay, I'm getting a double countdown for some reason.
Yeah, me too. I gotta refresh, making sure that I don't.
Okay, what the heck is happening? Okay, Hawkinson was off the board. Now you're on the clock.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I have a queue on, so
15 seconds.
I'm refreshing. I have a queue, so hopefully that works.
Okay, so it took Jerome Ford for you.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, I think this guy's a big value in Superflex leagues.
Got a bone a bit.
And that's Danny Dimes. I mean, I know he's coming off the ACL tear, but
what?
We have seen Daniel Jones rush for 700 yards before. We've seen him rush for a lot of touchdowns.
Not only do we have a Wandale Robinson draft, we have
QB3s are about to go off the board, man. I need to lock up a QB3 I like. I got to do it.
What a day. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. Something special is happening.
Dallas Goedert off the board.
That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, you're pushing it too far every time.
Yeah, I push it too far.
You have yourself to blame.
I know. That's okay.
Devin Singletary off the board as well.
Ooh. I got a sleeper tight end incoming right here, right now. You know who it is. There's technically 2 sleeper tight ends. Ooh.
Tony Pollard. Yeah, I'll grab Brian Robinson here. I think he's the starter.
Get a little B-Rob there. Take back the dragon. Yeah, I see Gus Edwards as a clear black.
Macy says, what are your thoughts on Deontay Johnson from a dynasty perspective? He's been one of my favorite buy lows. I don't think he is being valued where he should be. I think if he is the number one, like if what I'm projecting happens, which is for him to be the number 1 receiver in Carolina this year, I think people will value him higher. So I just think he's going to get a ton of targets. He's averaged over 8 targets per year in his career. And he's exactly what the Carolina Panthers needed. That's probably one of the best trades of the offseason that Carolina made.
I think in a dynasty perspective, like as a 1 year go, I think it could be interesting, but I think long term I'm a little bit hesitant unless he gets a long-term contract extension. Fair. But I guess you kind of have to project that, which is really hard to project that contract extension, right? So unless he has a phenomenal season and he gets the contract, sure. But where are the Panthers picking? You know, the Panthers still in a top 12, top 15 range where they can get the likes of Emeka Mbuka. Like, that's exciting. Or one of those other wide receivers coming in.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be something that can happen.
All indications are that, you know, we do like some wide receivers next year and some running backs, but it's an indication that it's a defensive heavy draft. From what I've heard. So think like 2022 a little bit, if that's the right draft I'm thinking of.
Well, with Sauce and everyone.
That was like the Aiden Hutchinson draft. Is that the right one?
I think so. Is it 2022? Yeah, it's 2022.
Hutchinson, Walker. But you had London, Wilson, Olave in there. I don't think it's as stacked as wide receiver as that draft was, but yeah, I'm curious to see what they'll do. Because remember, they did also lose Brian Burns. If it's defense heavy, if there's an edge, I think that's where they go.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. They get Xavier in the first this year. Get rid of DJ. You have Deontay. Unless they go out for someone like a T. You know.
Scribble says, every draft I've watched, Joel has been the king of taking rookies. Let's see. So he's got Daniels, Harrison, Neighbors. That's 3, 4 with Thomas. Yeah, he loves the rooks. I mean, it's hard not to when you got dynasty mindset.
You're behind me.
Hate the wide receivers in this range. Like, really don't like the wide receivers here.
Damn, Drake May. Damn, son. Got shots back and forth.
Bro, you keep pushing these positions 1 round later. But you had your boy Jerome Ford. There's no way. There's no way.
That's crazy. Let's just keep pushing it.
This guy just went Quentin Johnson. Someone help. I almost want to take Gardner Minshew just because it's a super flex league and I'll get a starter that late.
Yeah, take him.
But we're gonna grab Blake Corum here. If Kyron goes down with an injury, I got a league winner. I don't get why Pittsburgh traded Deontay. Their receiver core outside of Pickens is awful now. Yeah, that's definitely true. I like the Eckler pick, Gator. He says I have a sneaky pick here next round. All right, let's see it. As Kindred comes off the board, then Sutton. And I have a plan here. I got a plan. Let's see if it works out.
So you 25 first in every dynasty league you're in. Show us your. I already showed the conviction by taking him over Jackson Smith and Jigba Scribble.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I need to. What more I need to do?
Yeah, you can't just keep digging the grave. All right, Weston. I think perfect. So if you do go Jonathan Brooks in the drafts, 5, 6, sometimes 7 rounds later, you can grab Chuba Hubbard. And if Jonathan Brooks doesn't start the year, if he doesn't really take over the job until week 4 or 5, then that's fine. You got a starter in that meantime. So even though I didn't go running backs until round 8, I actually feel really good about the running backs I currently have. Blake Corum is a league winner if Kyron goes down. I think B-Rob is going to score a lot more touchdowns and people want him to. I like Zamir White. And the strength of my team will be every position outside of running back. So I just need those guys to pull their weight. As you go, Gardner Minshew. Have you heard the reports about this Vegas quarterback room?
No. Well, what are they saying?
So at the moment, they're saying it's AOC's job, and it's his to lose.
There you go.
I don't know if I believe that. I'm just telling you what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I feel like they. How much did Gardner Minshew get? I feel like he got a pretty good contract to be a backup, but
it felt like backup money. I don't know.
Let me double check. 15 million guaranteed.
It's not that much.
On a 25. Yeah, 15 million guaranteed, $25 million contract for 2 years. So he's locked in. He doesn't have an out. He's locked in for the next 2 years for sure.
So if you look at, let's have a look together. Again, I don't have a horse in this race. But let's look at quarterback. And let's look at average salary. This will put him. Gardner Minshew would be. Yeah, he's pretty much making like rookie quarterback money. He's making $12 million a year. If you think about guys who just signed recently, Baker Mayfield, $33 million a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like high level backup money for sure. But it's between him and AOC, someone's going to win the job. I don't know who is. It's just out of Vegas right now. They're saying it's AOC's job. I don't know if that's like mental warfare. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, probably. Still on the roll. Yeah, that Gardner Minshew picture is crazy. Have you seen his profile picture?
Yeah. I love it. Gator says, what type of split do you see Eckler getting this year? I don't understand why he's fallen so much, beside that he is not the bell cow. I think for me, it's a couple things with Austin Eckler. The reason we loved Austin Eckler because he was really the focal point of an offense that was a heavy pass volume type of team, right?
Yep.
So he goes from that offense with a non-rushing quarterback, right? Phillip Rivers, Justin Herbert, those guys dump the ball off a lot. He goes to an offense where if Jaden Daniels is in trouble, could potentially rush the ball. He's very, very good at doing that. So that's like within his wheelhouse, if you will. I'll grab Pop Douglas here. So that's a concern for me when a lot of Eckler's values come through the air. The second concern is I don't think he's a goal line running back for a team anymore. I think that's Brian Robinson. He's the bigger back. I think that's when they'll use him. And the third concern is he did take a little bit of a hit efficiency-wise. Like, he wasn't a very efficient player last year. I know he was injured, but all that just makes it really difficult to project him. And I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. Like, maybe I would say right now I will put it at like 60% Brian, 40% Eckler. And that's not what he's used to in his career. And I don't know. That's just where I stand. It doesn't mean I'm right. It's just.
No, I mean, I would agree. I don't think you can really project what Austin Eckler is going to do. But what I do know is that Brian Robinson really established himself a role last year ahead of Antonio Gibson, who a lot of people were potentially hoping to see some sort of split backfield or more of a pass catching back from Antonio Gibson. That just wasn't the case for Gibson. And maybe Austin Eckler is a little bit more solidified in a role as a pass catching back and can be relied upon more in this offense. But for me, this is Brian Robinson's backfield to lose, and I think he can genuinely play first, second down, and third down, as we saw last year when Antonio Gibson wasn't having that role. I think he's just more of a reliever guy. Austin Eckler, I think, knows. I feel like he knows that, even though all the reports saying that, the Chargers don't see me as a workhorse guy, or they didn't want to give me he said I didn't want to be there and take 300 carries. Like, what you mean? You were getting 300 targets in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was like, you got upset because you were going to get the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so Wilson, Dowdle, Thielen, Palmer, and Gabe Davis, as well as Damian Pierce off the board. But that's pretty much going to be it for today, guys. We do appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all big time. We'll be live on the Dynasty channel tomorrow, helping people with their Dynasty teams. But that is it. We'll have a good rest of your day. We'll see you soon, and we appreciate you a lot for hanging out with us. All love.
Love.